Is it? Are we?
I think we might be.
We're causing traffic accidents already.
Yeah.
That's how good we are.
Yeah. Good times.
Excellentissimo. Welcome one and all. All 0 people who are watching right now, but that's okay, because we love you if you're watching in the archives. Welcome to the very first episode of the very first video show produced and hosted by Cloudboat Armada. I'm Zach.
I'm Matt.
And I'm really excited to drink some beer and to play and watch Matt play Journey today.
Talk about some games.
Talk about some games. So the way this show is going to work for the future is I'm going to pick out a really cool beer, which will sit right over here on my side so you can see. I'm going to pop it open and enjoy it over the course of the show. Meanwhile, we're going to play some sort of game which we find cool for whatever reason. In this case, how could you not find Journey cool? And halfway through the show, at the 30-minute mark, I'll give you my thoughts on the beer. We'll take a quick break. I will enjoy it more than I usually do, and I will be pretentious. And then we'll go back to the game.
Pretentious.
So pretentious.
Real quick, before we get too far into this, we've got a couple people in the chat.
Wow.
How's our audio sounding, guys? We coming through clean?
Are we good?
The game audio is pretty low in this part. You
have
should
to
start to hear it.
Yes.
But
Good.
Okay,
excellent.
Good.
Wow, we are so popular. We already have 6 people watching us, and we love you for that. I'm excited.
Thanks so much for joining us.
I'm just gonna get the
kick that off.
All right, so Matt actually has some sweet news, some really exciting news to tell us about Journey.
About my journey?
Yes.
About my journey?
He has a big announcement to make.
So, in prep for this show, I was playing it past couple days, and I love this game, first of all. But I had never actually, platinumed it. I had never completed all the different objectives, all of the different things.
So you mean like platinum, like the platinum trophy?
Yeah, platinum trophy.
Okay.
Wait,
are you?
And as you can see, I'm now a white cloak. I wasn't before, and we're actually gonna. I think we're gonna journey mostly in a red cloak. I'll switch over.
Yeah.
But the white cloak, for those of you who don't know, is kind of this symbol in the world of Journey. That's it shows an experienced journeyman.
Do you have to literally complete 100% of everything?
No, this is for the I think they're the symbols is what they're called.
Okay.
The glowing.
There are a bunch of like little glowing collectibles throughout the
You'll
levels
see
that
them.
are sort of hidden. And if you get them all, you get a white cloak, and it's awesome.
And the
I love
first
this.
reveal at the top of the hill is just it's just nice light title card, very minimalist, very nice, reflective of just the entire game, really.
I don't know. I know Xander was here. I don't know if you guys saw during IGG, which I guess for the benefit of the people who don't know, IGG was the charity marathon that we did back in October.
Indie Games for Good.
Indie Games for Good. So you can check us out, iggmarathon.com. We also probably link there from our website, cloudboatarmada.com.
Mm-hmm.
We had a really awesome chance to interview the guy who made the soundtrack for this game, and that was awesome.
That was fantastic.
Very, very cool.
And we also did Kellee Santiago, who is no longer with that game company, the company that the developer of Journey, and as well as Flower and Flow.
Yeah.
They did the trilogy of games for Sony. Sony actually contracted them for the trilogy, and and so as you can see, I don't think we're going to explain all of the mechanics, but
there's like 2 mechanics.
Yeah,
It's like run around
I have
and
just
jump.
gained Scarf Power, which allows me to jump, which is really an interesting decision on the part of the design of this game, honestly.
You know what I really was interested in is there have been people who've played this game, and I never found the scarf equals jump to be really that weird, but some people just couldn't get it.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why. Like, it's visible. It's right there in front of you. You're looking at
but you're trained to see it. You've been playing
true.
so many games for all your life.
Maybe that's true.
And the secret to the white cloak is that
your scarf regenerates.
That my scarf regenerates while I'm on the ground, which is pretty significant. The other mechanic in this game is this call mechanic, which plays into the multiplayer.
Wait, ping again. So is it always the same? Yeah, you get your own symbol.
Yeah, you get your own symbol, and it's a combination of 4 symbols. I'm rocking the shirt right now.
Yeah.
And these are one of kind of the 2 types of repeatable collectibles. This is just the murals, I think they call them.
Yeah.
I can't. These are not the symbols. These are the. Oh, I can't remember the name for it. But yeah, so basically,
you fly around.
Yeah, you fly around. Except most of the game, you don't actually fly around.
True.
And I'm actually gonna go.
Around.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, just go
neuter myself right now. So now I'm a red cloak, which is what you end up with. Yeah, this opens up.
That turns you back into.
Yeah, and each of these glowing symbols represents one of the orbs or symbols that you have to collect in the world. So now this is kind of the hub. I'm gonna act as though I've never played this game before.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna rock the red cloak rather than being OP.
So, I mean,
and here's one of those symbols.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you it gives you extra scarf length as well as, and as such, more jump power effectively.
Yeah. So I think that part of the reason why we chose this game. Well, okay. So what we're going to be doing on the show is talking about like the craft, what we find interesting about these games.
Yeah.
As I said about the interview, we were kind of privileged to get a little bit of an inside peek as to like how the development specifically of these games by that game company. And then we also got this awesome art book, which I'll probably bust out. You can see it.
Yeah, they hooked us up with one of those to give away, and that's actually my personal one.
Yeah.
I got that as a gift,
awesome.
Which was fantastic,
cool.
And I absolutely love it. It is like the art direction in this game is
very cool. So I had a chance to kind of read through it, like spend a good amount of time, and I was very intrigued, which is why I liked it too. I feel
you are an artiste.
I'm an artiste with an E.
Yeah.
What I thought, okay, so there's a lot of different things that I think are interesting about this game. The thing to do with the art, which I thought was really interesting, is their focus on like extreme minimalism. So throughout the course of let me actually see if I don't even know if these photos are going to show up.
They probably aren't.
Actually, I don't know. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get away with this.
Oh, yeah.
So originally, this dude had. First of all, this art book is really nice.
Oh my god.
He had arms. He had the first one on the far. I don't know. Is that right? I guess is the placeholder art. But he had arms in this really kick-ass cloak, and they sort of slowly took stuff away until they came up with the design as it is today, which is he doesn't even have feet. He just kind of has legs that end in kind of points, no arms, just sort of this head and triangle cloak.
It's interesting that you use the pronoun he, because that's actually something that itself.
I'm just sexist.
Yeah, absolutely. White male,
he's so hot, he's making me sexist.
No high five for white male privilege. No, okay.
No.
But yeah, so there's kind of I found there was kind of a maternal vibe to a lot of the, like, I don't know, the taller cloaked figures in the cutscenes, in the art scenes. Are those aren't even really cutscenes.
Paternal?
Yeah, I don't know.
That segues me into the other really interesting thing that I found that this game does, and in fact, most of the, or at least the latter two, that game company games, which is the construction of narrative without real plot. Like, the construction of narrative in a very minimalistic sense.
Yes.
Like it or not, there is a narrative in this game. You can choose to ignore it, I guess, kind of. Same with Flower. There's a narrative in Flower, and you can choose to ignore that. But you never really know the gender, and as such, you can sort of attach whatever thing you want to the people or their motives or whatever.
It's left ambiguous.
You felt maternalism. I saw paternalism.
Interesting.
I had no doubt that this was a group of elders that were sort of shepherding you in a very sort of like paternalistic, watching over you, sort of looking to see your improvement sense rather than some sort of maternalistic protection sense.
Sure.
But that's just because I'm sexist.
Yeah. Either way, it's really. I love the fact that the storytelling complements the gameplay, the design of just the art design. You were talking about being simplistic. It does a lot with a little.
I also love their terrible fetishism for graphics on the PS3 because I also have that terrible fetishism.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they were mainly hired by Sony because of their incredible art direction and the way that they used they used everything.
Like, check out that sand. Like, so that's the reason why I want to see the descent stage because it's so pretty.
And that's up next. That's the next thing that we're going to be hitting. And I'm completionisting because...
Oh, hey, Kayan's here.
Oh, hey, Kayan.
Oh, dude, I wish. You should get on Journey and maybe we'll get paired up together.
Yeah, that'll happen.
You can what you should do is ping troll in Morse code. Has anyone considered using that? It just occurred to me.
Yeah, but I mean, the number of people who know how to copy Morse code is it's not exactly a huge.
That's true.
I'd say maybe gamers might be more likely to, but I don't think that's exactly a common skill. And I'm seeing the glow. I think that there's another journeyer.
Where's the glow?
At the edge of the screen.
Like, did you see it?
I saw the ping.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of doing my own thing.
That's cool. So I actually got to play this game for the very first time up when we were at the cabin.
I had just gotten it at that point.
Yeah, and it had just come out, and we didn't have internet. Well, we did have internet, but we didn't have the means to connect the PS3 to the internet there.
And so I did in one room. Because I played it online for the first time.
I was not so pretentious.
Nope.
So anyway, I played it single player, and I've seen people play it multiplayer, and I think it's a totally different experience. But I've seen people say that Journey single player is not worthwhile, and I disagree.
Oh, I disagree with that absolutely as well.
But I think that what makes Journey interesting in most places. So for me as an artist, the art direction is interesting, and all of the technology is interesting. But I think that for most game developers, what's so interesting is the construction of a multiplayer without
multiplayer that's not horrible.
Yeah, multiplayer that's not horrible. So people like Kayan can't invade and
So this is a White Cloak who has joined my game in kind of this.
It just pairs you up. You don't have
random
any choice.
fashion. You don't even really see their name until the credits.
Till the end,
which I thought was brilliant. And what that's led to is, oftentimes you'll end up getting these really nice messages from the people that you journey with, which is the most amazing thing.
Before you can make terrible, racist, sexist...
Before you can see the XX420XX at the end of their game.
Yeah, before you can judge them for their appearance, you can get to know them a little bit.
Yeah. And it's just this very positive experience where the worst thing that somebody can do is either rush ahead and leave you behind,
which doesn't affect you,
which doesn't really affect you, or they can stay in one place and you kind of forge on ahead. Which is just
at the worst they don't help you, at the best they help you.
And the fact that the only communication is through action and through the chirping, I think that's really an elegant way, because I mean you can express a lot through a little using it, and you can kind of vary how long you hold down the button, lets you chirp louder and everything, and it seems like a really simplistic thing, and it is, but it's also just kind of this really nice thing.
I wonder if whatever combination of the four symbols could look like a penis, if that would work.
You would.
I would. I do. I just wondered that. That popped into my head, and I said it out loud on the internet for everyone to hear.
I bet that I don't think that there are the right symbols to make that happen.
So, what else is cool about the art book too is that you get to see these sort of panoramas as the closest thing that the game has, I think, to a linear narrative. Mm-hmm. At the end of each stage, there's a little bit of the panorama revealed, and you kind of get a sense of the progress of whatever happened. And they have the whole panorama all laid out in this giant flip book thing, which I don't want to rip the art book, so I'm not going to show it to you guys.
I appreciate that.
You should come on over to Matt's house.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
Drink more. I only have a beer. Can't. What time is it? 8:26. I thought we get started like 8:12.
Yeah, about.
Okay, I'm where I should be, Xander. All right. I don't want to hear this halfway through. I'm enjoying my beer.
God, this game is beautiful.
It is.
It still gets
delicious.
Me, you know.
Oh, the other thing I forgot to tell you about the art direction, which I thought was really cool. The way they went about the art direction, once they sort of had settled on a visual style, this sort of minimalist with the stepping stair motif present in the cloaks in a lot of the buildings, was they started with colors.
I'm so used to being a white cloak. I'm wasting my jump.
Color first. They started with a color palette. So he basically just picked, I think there are like 6 or 8 stages in the game, and he picked 6 colors. And he's like, this will be the color for this stage. And then he picked a bunch of like complementing colors. So they had this like matrix of colors that sort of grades from a yellow through the red down into the blues when you go underground, into like the deep golds to up to the cold blues, right when you're about to the cold blues and whites.
Yeah, the whites in the snow stages.
And the other thing is, by the way, and I never noticed this before I read this in the art book, they never make the sky blue until the very end.
True. Yeah.
It's green right
until
now.
The ascent stage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Green right now.
Yeah,
so a lot of interesting decisions.
Yeah, I mean the entire art direction is just full of really subtle changes from what you would normally expect, kind of subversions of like, we're so used to things striving to be photorealistic, and this is almost like a caricature, and I think what that does is just strengthens the experience.
This is not a doppelbock. This is actually an amber ale. Right now, I chose something. I saw it and I was like, but then it was local. It's out of Poway, so I thought that would be pretty cool. I will give my thoughts on this beer halfway through the episode.
I think the
in about
Seattle Times recently proclaimed that San Diego is the beer capital of.
Which is true.
Yeah,
and that's a surprising sort of
them actually owning up to it.
Revelation from the Seattle Times, who are hipsters about most everything. Most everything.
So yes. San Diego represent.
Yes. And seeing as Matt does not drink, I invite all of you to come and enjoy beer with me on the show. Especially KN.
Yeah, KN, come on.
Just come out to the West Coast, KN.
It's not like it's that long of a drive.
Okay, so these cloth creatures I like
cloth
too.
creatures are just fantastic.
Oh, also,
I feel like I'm just gushing about this game and not saying
if there's one thing we are, it's that game company fanboys.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, I do have less of an irrational crush on Kellee Santiago now, though. I remember when
now
was
she's a
coming
person instead of an object to be artistically lusted after.
I hope that Kellee does not see this episode. I had a terrible irrational crush on Kellee Santiago, even up through IGG 2012. But
I mean, she is a pretty wonderful person.
She is. But I think it's gone away now. I think now that she's not with that game company, I just can't. I just don't know if I can.
You're weird. Oh my gosh. I'm just traveling with some cloth.
Just some cloth dudes.
Yeah, some cloth dolphins. I think the community has named these dolphins.
Really?
I think.
What?
I don't know.
Why?
They have like weird names for.
I'm a biologist, and their pack instinct is exactly that of dolphins.
Yeah, exactly. Totally.
Do they chirp annoyingly at you?
Kind of. I mean, they kind of do make weird chirpy noises. I don't know.
Another interesting insight from the art book. So the sort of stair-step motif, as I mentioned, in the architecture and on the designs. Only late in the game did they add this sort of like metal grating stuff. After they had gone through a bunch of iterations for what all the architecture should be. What's tantalizing to me, which is what Kellee, I believe it was Kellee who said this, there is an internal narrative for what happens in the game. Like, it's one thing, like, for example, you can maybe design a game and leave it open to interpretation, and even the team, the game designers, there's no one objective truth. Maybe, I don't know, for whatever mystery or narration, I've seen a lot of tabletop RPGs do this, where there's no objective truth to the mystery to be solved. It's whatever you want it to be. But there is an objective truth to the narration and what happened for this game.
But they haven't really shared it, which is kind of
it's rage-inducing.
I don't know. That's
I wish she had said it
artistic
wasn't.
intent thing.
I know it was. I mean, I can't imagine it would be any better than what we could imagine, but I still wish they had kind of, because there is a truth. There's something that's true about this, and
I think that whatever kind of the personal experiences are is what is true, as cheesy as that sounds.
I couldn't love her for what she really was. True, Kellee. Oh, Kellee.
I love just the minor things where it's like it's kind of a burden to walk across this desert if you don't have scarf power, if you don't have jump effectively.
Yeah, I like scooting around.
Yeah, but then you have this slide that is it speeds you up, and it just feels good, Yeah.
God, where's all that bloom though, man? This is not realistic enough.
Yeah.
Also, things are too bright.
Yeah. So I'm spending too much time in the desert, and let's get to the meat of it. Honestly,
So okay, you're honestly gonna have to say, before the show, Matt said that his least favorite part was the dunes. Were you talking about this or the first level?
This is actually my least favorite part, and that comes mainly from like almost this social anxiety that I have, because there's a lot to these, and it's non-linear, and it's tricky to explore them in kind of a completionist
it took
sense.
me forever. And I didn't even get everything.
Well, I mean, you can always just point yourself at the mountain and you'll find these ruins.
I'm a completionist.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so my initial feeling when I approach these things is, oh god, these endless deserts. I can tell that there's kind of wind that will block my way and prevent me from taking. What's up?
Thought. Kane just commented on how like cousins these games are, Dark Souls and Journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we have Dark Souls on our list for games to play?
No, we don't have it on the list. I don't actually have Dark Souls. I have Demon Souls. I think the servers for that are still up, but I think that probably the community's mostly dead for that.
Oh, for the PS3?
Yeah.
Or for, what about the Xbox?
Well, the PS3 is basically where it's at for Demon Souls.
Is it? Really?
I think. Did it ever come out on any other...
Well, okay, so Dark Souls, though. Is it all about the PC?
Dark Souls is all about the PS3, I believe, because the PC's game for Windows Live. Although, and it's also like
we will try to get Demon Souls or Dark Souls.
We'll try to get one of them on.
That's actually a really cool idea.
We might get what we might do is we might get Colin down here because he has been playing a fair amount of that.
And for me, and so there's interesting multiplayer, sort of crafting a multiplayer in this, but what always strikes me is the art direction, which is sort of singular.
So you had
that was what I wanted to talk about.
You had the single player experience. Let's talk about the multiplayer though, because we mentioned earlier it kind of avoids the pitfalls of normal internet multiplayer because it's full of horrible people.
I always thought I saw some photos online like. XX420XX, and it would be like, hey, that was a really nice game. Thank you for that experience. I'd be like super respectful.
I almost feel like it would be. I feel like I shouldn't, but I actually have a couple of messages like that in my inbox still.
Don't.
Yeah, I'm not going to share those.
You gotta protect those people's privacy. Yeah,
it's not about.
They're sending you nudie photos,
but. Oh my god, I actually did get one of those. Not from this game.
What?
I got... dude, the shit you get when you play Street Fighter with people on the internet.
I wonder if there's a good pun I can make for bro do you even lift out of this game. Like, bro do you even...
I don't know.
Oh, is this The Descent?
Yes, this is The Descent.
I want to play it.
No.
Oh, no, I love this game.
Yeah, so this is a shift both tonally and gameplay wise. When you're on the dunes, it's this very slow, methodical thing, and I mean you've seen from the beginning of the game, everything's been very, very slow and
now this is like a
measured
snowboard.
pace. But yeah, now it feels like you're playing SSX. Don't waste the jumps.
Sean White
Can't really
snowboarding.
refresh those. Not that it really matters. Because, yeah.
The sand physics engine.
Go right.
Go right.
In
here?
In here, yeah. There you go.
Clearly, I'm not. I'm just don't have the.
Yeah, you.
What? How did I miss that?
You didn't.
Oh, okay.
It's following you.
So apparently, at first, before they had the sand physics worked out, this was all just hills covered in grass, like from Flower.
Yeah.
And I would want to play that game.
Yeah.
Also, this is like seriously, I think the best. Oh no, wait, it's not this one yet.
This is the one where you burst out into that area. That
Pow!
You can actually avoid the entire
I just don't know.
section.
I'm trying to float till the camera gets.
Push forward. There you go.
Float.
And
Float.
then you got
Float,
a little bit
float.
of a refresh and you're good. So normally you would have to just tap over.
I actually got that the first time. I didn't even.
Yeah. Normally you've got to go down there and free some cloth creatures.
Screw freeing
but,
cloth creatures.
yeah,
Psh, I just want to snowboard.
apparently. But yeah, so this is this shifted section.
Oh yeah, see, Kayan knows what's up.
Kayan
knows what's up. This shot, according to the all-knowing art book, which I clearly read way too much, the shot that I'm talking about is the shot that convinced them to keep the sand the way it was.
Yeah.
They were like, I don't know if this is working, and then they were like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's just how mirror-like, how glitter-like the sand is in this section, and the
I would
color
play. I
tones
would.
and
I would
everything
cover
they
my
use.
house in this.
It'd probably wash out, but okay, sure.
No, glitter, as Tim has said, is like the herpes of craft supplies. You can just never get rid of it. At our house is a table with glitter on it from when one of my roommates, Megan, was like 6. She was 6, and her sisters and were doing craft stuff. Okay, wait, I'm gonna show you. Shh.
It's just perfect. It's perfect.
I love it. And the mountain.
Yeah, just like the entire framing of it. It looks like it's a scene right out of a trailer.
Yeah.
Except it's way more artistic than most trailers ever get. But it's just fantastic, and it gives you that kind of that goal. It puts the mountain out there, and that's throughout the game. It's
striking.
Showing you,
and it doesn't feel out of place, which I think is really interesting.
Exactly.
And I think part of the reason why it doesn't feel out of place is because you're never stopping moving.
Yeah, and
in other games where there's this sort of set piece vista, it's not like you're always moving.
Yeah, the camera control.
It's wrested away from you.
Yeah,
but it doesn't feel like that's a problem.
But that happens. Yeah. That happens throughout the game.
Like this too.
And yeah, like they have these moments where it's like, oh well, artistic camera angle. If you go left, there's one of the murals, by the way. Just so you know. And now, not this far left.
All right, fine. I don't want to play this game anymore. That was the only fun part.
Oh, that's so wrong, and you know it. But yeah, so I mean, it has this really interesting progression. You start out in the desert, you go and you kind of get introduced to the architecture that's been broken down, but you're kind of recovering it through the cloth and everything, and then you go through the desert and you're freeing these cloth creatures and everything, and it tells this abstracted tale that's really interesting, and then you have this descent, and now you're in this darkness, this cave.
Really, what most struck me, because I was a total Flower fanboy, how similar these games are.
Yeah.
So so similar on so many levels. Multiplayer aside, not the aesthetic on a superficial level, but the idea behind the aesthetic. It's very minimalist. It's bright. It's
and the arc as well.
Iconic. The narrative arc, the length of the game and the way that pans out. It's all very, very similar. and I mean, clearly there's something to it, and I know that it's called Journey, and then what was the guy who talked about the hero's journey? Hero with a Thousand Faces? Chat. Hero with a Thousand Faces.
Go.
Go.
But yeah, I mean, and it isn't. Spoiler warning: it's not about where you end up in this game. It's about the journey, which is just about the most.
You know what? I wonder if anyone's figured out the whole panorama and has that online. My mom has a 44-inch wide format printer that can print on like
you would
vinyl or canvas, and I was really inspired. I don't know if you guys saw that Zelda 25th anniversary giant vertical wall hanging thing.
The one by the Japanese artist.
Yeah, the Japanese artist, which was fantastic. So my old roommate had that, and he had printed it out on Kinko's. But think of the Journey panorama,
Dear
like
God.
2 to 3 feet tall, and just that'd be amazing. And
I'm not
free.
sure it's continuous.
It is. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna force my hand now.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna bust out the art book. Yeah, check it, yo. Oh my god. I really don't want to. Anyway,
Yeah,
it's
not,
this
that's
double.
not gonna help them.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna enjoy this on stream, and hopefully you guys can like osmose
You
some
guys
of my
should
enjoyment.
pick this book up. It's pretty awesome.
It's so pretty. It's pretty.
And it's awesome. That was horrible.
That's fantastic.
That was horrible.
Well, this beer is kind of strong. What percentage is this?
So yeah, talk about the beer.
Are we at about halfway?
Yeah, about.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, time for beer. So this is Lightning Brewery. It's an amber ale. I picked it because I was feeling a little middle of the road today. I like ambers if they're interesting. Sometimes they can be kind of boring. Like, Newcastle is okay. That's the amber that a lot of people know, and it's just doesn't have that much character in it. So sometimes if you want a mellow ale that's got some body but not a lot of character, ambers are the way to go. 7.5, so on the stronger side. 7.5% alcohol. So the way they advertise this amber is that it's made in the tradition of a UK extra special bitter, which is the ESB. So they're saying it's a little bit more bitter than that, a little bit more malty than that, and I definitely feel
I'm not
that.
Seeing any.
No one else.
I'm not running into anybody else. Sorry.
So, I think this is one of the less expensive beers that Lightning puts out, and it's okay. I can't help but feel like there are other better amber beers out there. I just can't remember what they are. So hopefully by recording this show, I will have video evidence that I like or did not like a beer. I've always wanted to keep a beer journal. Is that really pretentious?
Yeah. Well,
Okay. The little notebooks, the little small notebooks that are sort of flexible, keep in your back pocket. Keep a beer journal of what you think.
It would be especially pretentious if your beer journal was a moleskin.
I was gonna do that actually.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, moleskins are actually really good.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Anyway, yeah. So I like supporting local breweries. It's not hard when you live in San Diego. Lightning, I would definitely try some of their other stuff, because this I picked because it was a little bit more mellow and I guess true to its name, a little bit more aggressive than a normal amber, a little bit more hoppy, but not by much. I would say I'm not going to give it a rating. That's not what I want. But if you guys like amber ales, this is definitely one to try, because it's definitely a beer that you can drink on a random day.
It's a beer that you
on
can
a Wednesday.
drink on a random
It's a
day.
beer you can drink on a Wednesday. They had one that intrigued me as well, which was an imperial style farm ale, which I may pick up at a future episode. But I'll try to mix up the breweries here.
I specifically chose not to be a White Cloak, so I didn't
Newcastle
feel
tastes
like
like
I had to guide
this is
people.
why we want you to come, Kayan, because you can be pretentious about beer like us down here in San Diego. It's our mission. Oh god.
Yeah.
See, this was also less scary than the corresponding flower level for me.
Sure.
Yep.
Until
So,
you get locked onto.
Can you tell what the color palette's supposed to be here? Just
maybe a little.
Maybe a little. Someone else was mentioning Homestuck. I actually don't read Homestuck. Disclosure. I don't know if that like robs me of all my nerd cred. Does it?
I think that for some people it does.
I don't read Homestuck. I don't wish I did, like but sometimes I feel like I'm missing out on some sort of...
It's an interesting experience.
Yeah. Do you feel that Homestuck uses the same sort of compositing or palette sort of feeling? Do you read Homestuck?
I have read about half of Homestuck.
Okay.
It is massive, in fairness.
Yes, it is massive. Yes.
Oh no!
I understand.
Cloth things.
My problem with Homestuck is that it sucks people's lives away.
It is pretty massive.
Yeah, I have a friend who got really into Homestuck. Hope you're not watching.
I love how we've gone completely off topic. Too.
That's fine. I have a friend who got completely into Homestuck, and the types of references that he makes are all Homestuck references, and it's like that's just alienating. So, I don't know. I don't really have that much of interest.
And that's
in
not
it.
Xander?
No. What? Oh, okay.
So yeah, so
don't worry.
He likes to.
I really ought to keep an eye on the chat. What am I not supposed to worry about? I don't know.
Probably Xander.
Are we lagging? By the way, I mean, is the frame rate good? Is the audio quality
how is
good?
Everything. This is our pilot episode. It's
yes. Please give us feedback.
A new setup. New mic too. Brand new mic. This is.
Oh yeah, the mic looks cool. Just so you guys know.
Important thing.
I'm a very visual person. Speaking of which, these graphics are not final. I did these in half an hour before the show because I have way too much other stuff on my plate. So, apologies. Oh, wait, I better keep drinking.
Yeah, always. That.
It's not like I'm driving home tonight. Psh.
Don't drink and drive, kids.
Yeah.
Find a teetotaler.
Cool preview. So, for the people who are watching right now who are not already CBA members, cool preview for you guys. We have a couple other, at least confirmed, a couple other shows that are coming out soon, like probably in the next month. Hopefully Xander is still into his show.
I haven't heard otherwise. I'm sure he'll tell us.
I'm pretty sure that we've got at least one more show going on, and I think we're going to revive the podcast as well, since we've been sort of... what's the word?
We're on hiatus.
We're on hiatus, sure. We're on hiatus.
That's totally what we are.
Yeah, we're like artistes.
Shamal was talking about did she talk to you about this?
Carrie and her?
Yeah, Carrie and her doing
So, all sorts of stuff. We're trying to make cool stuff and do cool stuff.
We want to just make cool videos and audio podcasts and everything and have fun. And talk about feedback.
So it seems like there's just a good deal of lag, stream lag, so like call and response lag. I think that's just because I'm not paying attention to the chat. There's probably some, but not a lot.
Yeah. I'm tweaking with video settings as well. We're not dropping frames, so that's something.
Wait, we have a YouTube archive.
Oh yeah, so Xander,
how many? Okay, you're gonna have to tell us how many hours you spent doing this because this is ridiculous. God. So we have a YouTube channel. It's the name of the channel I believe is Cloudboat Armada. Yeah. We should actually probably link that. I don't think we have that linked from the main website, but we
probably don't because it's empty. On our website, cloudboatarmada.com, there is a preview video that is specifically talking about the fact that Xander has been going through and working through the Indie Game
Kayan, this will be of specific interest to you because you are in one of these videos.
That is true.
I think he started with the Artemis missions.
Yes.
So we played Artemis, I think a total of like 5 or 6 missions over the course of the marathon.
Something like that, yeah.
And he actually, kind of produced and edited out all of the missions into separate videos.
Yeah.
Kayan was the captain for a couple of them, I believe. And so those are all going to go up on our YouTube if they haven't already.
I don't think they have yet, but they're
doing
coming.
Xander teaches.
And then we're getting basically Xander has been beast.
I'm not exactly
and
sure
splitting
what Xander's.
all of the different stuff. What's going on?
Oh yeah, Xander is spent hours and hours splitting up all of the stuff from IGG, not just Artemis but everything.
Yeah,
and that's all going to go up on YouTube.
And that's a lot of footage. What was our final hour count for IGG?
79.
Was it?
Yes.
That was the first.
That
Was
what?
it the same? Wasn't it?
No,
I don't know. 70. I don't
Xander.
remember. Xander, you know better than anybody.
Are you fellas gonna get a girls on the couch? Heck no, girls have cooties.
Yeah.
Plus, they don't know anything about them video games.
God, don't.
Video
You
games.
just said it. I should probably punch you just to even that out, shouldn't I?
Psh. Yeah, probably. Oh yeah. Use the magic of perspective.
Exactly.
Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah. No. I mean, Shemail is fronting one of our shows. We will be getting various people to help host this one.
Yeah, 2 of our girls moved away.
Yeah.
So we
two
can't
of
really
our
use
most
them.
gamer girls.
No, we're definitely going to be that.
Moved away, but yes.
I think that we'll probably, if we can swing girls or anyone else in this show, that they'll definitely appear. But in other shows too, depending on who's producing them, they'll have the power to get people in.
Yes.
And we know girls.
We do.
We're not creepy or anything. Not creepy.
You're a little creepy. So, remember
because he forces his girlfriend? What other show? I'm curious. We're not going to force anyone. Also, I don't have a girlfriend.
Also,
I mean, I totally have a girlfriend. A Canadian girlfriend.
Yeah, right. Totally.
Who's not Amy. Some show from
Canada.
Canada.
That is our Canada.
I guess, yeah. So if he's Canadian and he has an American girlfriend and he forces her to go on. Yeah. But we have scruples, don't we? We have artistic integrity. We're not going to force people to go on the show.
I don't know. That wasn't in the contract.
This is cool. I like this. I always picture this golden stuff as hyper oxygenated water, so you could breathe it even if you can't breathe water. Is that weird?
Maybe a little.
Okay.
I have such a long scarf that I can just kind of go around that thing. Normally, you go through the center pillar.
And okay, so to me, a lot of the I'm gonna try to be pretentious again. Mm-hmm. To me, a lot of what's really cool about the aesthetic and narrative decisions revolves around the character, as it should.
Yes.
So the mechanics of the character, the visuals of the character, the sort of...
should I show the secrets in this area or no?
I don't know. I actually don't know what the secrets are. Secrets?
Spoiler warnings for the secrets.
Hammerhead sharks?
Hammerhead sharks, exactly.
Yeah, so the aesthetics of the character are iconic, bright, and give a sense of some sort of culture that we're not really sure of. The mechanics of the character, in terms of, are very simple. All you can do is ping and jump and move. And so he's got legs and a scarf, and I guess you can't really see what he's pinging, but he has a head. They went through a lot of iterations of this head, apparently, which is kind of weird to me, because it seems so obvious, but I guess it's not really that obvious. But I love the red and gold. I can't get enough of it. I almost don't like the white cloaks because I like the red and gold too much.
That's I don't disagree. We're just arching over. We really need a chat monitor over there or something.
Whatever, yeah. So
that'll be a thing.
Yeah, red and gold. So the mechanics of the character are that these are the 3 things that they can do, and even if you're playing single player, there's only 2 things: you can move and jump. It's a platformer.
Jump and shoot, man.
Yeah, but basically a lot of the sort of visual style is encompassed in the character in the cloth simulation and the color palette, the emphasis on color palette, and the sort of floaty, ridiculous nature of all of the jumps that you make. Mm-hmm. And I like that. I think I like that game company's games because they attempt to distill something down to as little as possible.
I love how you can just fly in this.
You're like a jellyfish.
Sure.
weirdly oscillating jellyfish.
Quite.
This, someone took our idea at Comic-Con, but we were going to cosplay as these people. And by going to, I mean talked about it, which is not at all going to.
Yeah, that's the ghost have done.
Uh-huh.
So there's the mural, and there is the symbol over here. Yeah, and those are the...
Oh, by the way, actually, we do have a list of games that where we find interesting to play and talk about sort of how they approach
Oh, hey.
crafting a certain element of a game. Journey is sort of unusual in that, like I said, we have the interviews, we have the art book. There's so many interesting things with this game. Oh, here's another person.
Yep. Finally found it.
There's so many interesting things with this game. A lot of times, sort of the games that we have chosen, we find... I mean, we like playing, but we find one particular thing interesting about them that we wanted to talk about. And for me, this was the art design, but obviously there's a lot of other stuff for Journey. So if you guys think that there's something that's been obviously deliberately crafted to be really slick or really sort of smooth or whatever else adjective you want to call it, let us know, because we will...
Is anyone
we'll give
in
it a shot.
chat telling me where the thing is that I'm
No,
missing?
they're asking if you drink too.
I do not drink.
Or just the long-haired
which
guy.
Is...
My name is Zach. That's Matt.
I'm Matt.
Just to reintroduce
I
ourselves.
Total T.
Yeah. You can check out our website, cloudboat.armada.com.
Yeah.
Matt doesn't drink.
Yeah, I do not drink.
Which is why I was a little surprised that he agreed to do this show with me.
I like games.
And I like beer, so it works.
It's a match made in heaven, right?
Oh. If only we could have two PS3s and I could be your partner in Journey.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah, totally.
So there is a secret in normally once you've got it all filled in, and you go down to that bottom chamber there in the center tower, you find a secret. But for whatever reason, I couldn't find it. I think he may have found it before me.
By the way, there's one last thing.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
I am hat Matt. That is
what a
true.
hippie. I don't wear shoes.
Yeah.
Well,
we're in San Diego.
Okay, whatever.
Sandals.
Yeah, we're in San Diego.
Like in
So
Bob's.
they have an entire section in this art book for fan art, which I think is pretty ridiculous. They have all sorts of cool fan art.
And they have amazing fans.
I want this as my desktop right there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have that as my desktop.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
So
thing?
follow them on Twitter.
Oh. But then they
Like,
have
they
these
tweet
adorable
about fan
little
art
like
all the time.
There's a little papercraft version of these guys, right?
Yeah.
Papercraft.
I have the PDF for that.
You're clearly, and they have those little models and stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's literally so cool.
Is it literally?
Literally so cool. It is literally. It's actually cold.
I think you're.
No, I know. Let me get it. Hold
Okay.
on. No, I'm gonna get it. This is his. I don't want to mess it.
You realize that if you open it, yeah,
He would
coefficient of friction.
Oh, also, on the other hand, so we would love to take game suggestions. If you have beer suggestions that you want me to try and give my thoughts on, if you like, oh, this is a great way to make fans. If you love a beer and want me to see if I love it too, then give it to me, but be warned that I may not like it as much as you do.
That is a thing that happens.
It is a thing
People
that happens.
have differing opinions.
Yeah, that's true.
True story.
So is this the last? This is like kind of the very last thing.
Yeah, we're actually nearing
The end of the game here.
nearing the end, towards the end of this.
So, as I said
I have
before,
lost
the
my
only
companion.
they view blue sky as a payoff. I'm not sure if that's true. The sky is never blue until the very end, and they view it as some sort of like the crisp, bright blue when you beat the game.
I think that it totally works.
I don't know if it does.
It gives this heavenly aspect to the last level.
Yeah, but I don't know. So like, it's as much of a payoff as any sky is. When I mentioned the comment earlier, the sky was a green, and that sort of complemented the color. So to me, it was very striking. I understand that the blue is sort of crisp and clear, but it just doesn't. I don't know if it's much as a payoff as because look up. Can you look up? So it's this sort of dark gray.
Yeah.
But
It's
I
like
guess
cloudy.
Yeah. So there is a visual payoff in when you save the world, but I don't think it's any less striking than some of the earlier skies.
So you can see that
Garrett's
the cold is sapping my my scarf away.
So what I really enjoy about having a lot of people in Cloudboat Armada is they can inflate our viewer count so we can get more viewers.
Totally.
Yeah. So I think this is the one level where it's really interesting to have a partner. I was absolutely...
I would disagree that it's not really interesting to have a partner through the entire thing, but okay.
Can't you... Okay. I was despondent in this level. I could not figure out what was going wrong. Because you basically, like, crawl your way from place to place.
It's
because
true.
it's so hard to keep warm. Because can't you ping each other to keep warm or something? Like,
it helps fill in your scarf.
yeah, your scarf depletes. Your scarf is your warm sort of power. Yeah, so... Yeah, now you can see that little glow when you guys are right next to each other. You help each other's scarf. So if you don't have that partner, your scarf quickly goes away and then never returns. And so it was this just terrible slog up the mountain, not knowing what I was doing wrong. You know, feeling like I just like, well, what am I doing wrong? And it turned out that what I was doing wrong was I didn't have another journeyer to journey with.
It doesn't help that much, though, is what it comes down to.
Yes.
You're drained and you're sapped, and the jumps are.
Do you
sapping.
feel like that you had that same experience with another person? No, because already I feel like you have someone to help you.
Absolutely, but it's still the toughest, most arduous part of the journey, which I think just it's nicer to be there with someone, but at the same time, your scarf is slowly. You're losing your scarf slowly, and eventually kind of there's an inevitable aspect to it.
So for the benefit of Jaden, yeah, it's a real person on the other end. This is an interesting sort of multiplayer decision where they can't really do anything except help you.
Yeah, so they can refill your scarf, which allows you to jump.
But your scarf is way more badass than their scarf.
Yeah, well, that's because I've collected almost every symbol.
Oh, I see, okay.
In the game.
Yeah. And they can
and
kind of point.
This is their first or second run through the game.
How do you know? Oh, because your cloak is awesome.
Yeah, the bottom rim of the cloak.
Yeah, so you're also the more experienced of the two of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was doing this all alone with a kind of not so great scarf and
it's not an envious situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. You here?
Hmm. Nope, he's scared. He doesn't like you.
So you're through this level, you actually lose power to your ping. It gets quieter.
Oh.
Over time, it's interesting. It's like it's basically just your character's losing energy and everything, and it's a nice touch. And eventually, you're just so affected that you can't get anywhere, basically.
Yeah. I think that in terms of minimalism, what works about minimalism is that it lays bare the goal that you have in mind. So it's patently obvious to us, even though we haven't really, asked the designers this, that the pings get less strong. Mm-hmm. And then that sort of mirrors not only your ability to find your other person, but also your ability to jump, and it also narratively mirrors your sort of waning strength.
Yeah.
And because there's so little going on in the game, it's pretty obvious. Yeah. I think that's why I like these games so much. Oh, I also love how the sand displaces when you ping. That's cool.
Yeah. I love this. This is a teaching moment. And the fact that there are teaching moments in a game
Teachable moment, kids.
Just freaking amazing to me that's even a thing that a game can achieve. Especially
what do you mean by what do you mean by teachable?
Watch. I'm gonna like this little cave becomes a refuge, but there's actually a secret to it that a lot of people don't know about.
Oh, and so as soon as you find out, you want to help the other people.
Exactly. So because of that secret, and so it's like, oh, it's this nice thing, and then it pops you up like that, and it's, oh, yay. But if I use that energy...
Oh, snap. You're teaching me here.
And then...
See, I had no idea.
I can...
You just keep pinging until the person comes up?
Yep. Hey.
No, come back!
Hey.
Oh, seriously? Come on, dude. Really?
You can't teach them all. You know.
That was...
But yeah, so that's the mural.
We were gonna have
there.
a nice... Thanks for ruining our stream, dude.
Oh.
We should send him an angry...
He went back.
We should send him an... Oh, okay, never mind. We should send him an angry message at the end of this game. Like, we were streaming
not.
this, fool.
Come on up.
This is Morse for come on up, by the way.
Man, I'm rusty on my Morse. I can't remember like half the alphabet, so I'm not going to try. Yeah.
Oh! Maybe he already
There
knows
you go.
about this one.
No.
How could you tell?
He was having trouble jumping.
Oh.
There you go.
Does he... Oh, does it fill in separately for him?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. Because I have seen people ping near it and it not filling for me.
Oh, okay. So we're actually coming to the end of the show.
Yeah,
here.
we are. And actually, we're coming to the end of the game as well. So that.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, we got about 5 minutes left in the
Yep.
show. Hopefully, it'll line up nicely. Not necessarily always going to be this way, but whatever.
Yeah. Does anybody in the chat have any questions
That we can answer
that
because
we
we're
can
clearly experts.
give
on this?
opinions on?
Okay,
That's,
yeah.
I mean, that's what we can do.
Okay.
Any aspects of Journey that you guys are interested in hearing?
Oh yeah. Okay. So Colin wants to know once again the beer of choice, Lightning Brewery out of Poway. Their amber ale. It's pretty solid, although not the best amber I've had. But of course, I can never remember the best amber I've had because I don't keep a pretentious beer journal
Yeah,
yet.
it's gonna happen.
Yeah. I don't know if you can find it up where you are, Colin, but I definitely found it in the Bevmo. Oh, here's... Okay, best guess for the overall plot. As I mentioned, I think the plot is very similar to Flower. Not in just the sort of journey you make from sort of this idyllic place down into the pit of real danger and emerging more powerful to help save the day. I think the idea behind it is there was some civilization that just went too far. Oh no! Dude, go inside! Ouch.
Yeah.
Does that just kill him? Or
no,
what?
he loses Scarf, and
Yeah.
I was trying to ping him to stay where I was, because that blocks the vision. But
so he, yeah.
you live
So
and learn, right?
you know, it's the civilization just went too far, and the same way as Flower. Like this is, you know, Flower is about this sort of the creeping in of mankind on nature, and Journey is ultimately about the same thing. These people or whatever they are.
So you can see
went
that
too far.
my ping is
yeah.
pretty much nothing now.
And they reaped the consequences. Something went wrong, and everything fell apart. And now here you are in the desert, which is nature reclaiming everything, trying to make it to this mountain, which somehow is going to help you out. And you're never really sure because, well, I'm not going to spoil the ending here. In terms of gameplay, it is more about the journey. In terms of sort of narrative that you discover, I don't think it ever really explains why you're journeying. I never felt a sense that the narrative explained. What do you think?
I mean, there's a certain amount of restoration that you're doing.
That's true. Okay, yeah.
But at the same time, there's kind of a cyclical nature implied in everything, and so it's hard to.
Yeah, so you do
say.
restore things kind of to the way they were, but you never, you just go back to the beginning and start over again. And that's not in the way that Flower presented it. The ending of Flower was one where you could see everything get better, and as soon as you beat the game, it would the start menu, as it were, would sort of open up and be nicer. And so you in Journey though, is this the last of it? Like right here?
No. There's actually still a bit to this level, and I think I'm actually gonna meditate.
Oh, okay. You sit and meditate in the snow. Just gather snow. So, at the end of this journey, you just go back and start the journey over again, which I think is a little bit different in terms of emphasis.
Yeah.
You can always go back and start the Flower stuff over again, but the act of restoration is a little different in this game than it is in Flower.
Yeah. It's not an identical narrative.
Yeah.
I just there's something to the expression of kind of these multiple parallel narratives by way of having these different characters that you're meeting on your journey, and they're taking the same journey, but each of you is having a slightly unique experience.
What do you... So, why the White Cloak?
I just really like the White Cloak. It's fun. And now I'm going to go do this because you got to do this.
Alright. We're gonna call it as... Well, the sort of real money shot is towards the end of the level, is it not?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So we'll probably call it, but Matt really wants to play Journey some more, so I'm sure...
That's always true.
Always true.
Always true.
So we will be live next week, Wednesday at 8 Pacific. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Indeed.
And we'll have another game, which we'll announce, and we'll have another beer, which I will make
probably
fun of.
Figure out an hour ahead of time again.
That's how I do it, it's cool.
How you do.
Yeah.
True story.
But thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks so much.
And keep an eye out on our Twitter channel, Cloudboat Armada, and the website, where we'll be announcing the couple of new shows that I hinted at, because I have no other details to give you at this time, because those details don't exist.
Forces you down here. Sorry, what? It's true. I really wish I could get on top of that thing, but it's just an invisible wall.
You know what? You're going to have to let me play so that you can end the stream.
That's not necessarily true. Here, let's see. I can do this skill jump.
It's happening. Is it happening?
Mishaven.
Is it happening? Okay.
Good. Excellent.
No.
Not. Oh yeah, guys. If you want to interact with us anymore, we also actually have an IRC now.
Oh.
I'm actually gonna post the info on cloudboatarmada.com.
We'll post it in chat.
Shortly.
Post it in chat.
And we'll also post it in chat.
Post it in chat. Post it in Cloudboat
Armada.
I'm gonna have to stay here for an extra...
I'm not the one who came up with that name. In my defense,
I am the one who's been drinking beer.
That is true. You're not driving.
I haven't eaten dinner or anything. It's delicious.
Oh, that's great.
All right. We will post it on cloudboatarmada.com. We will post it in chat. You guys can come and hang out with our IRC. And apparently Kayan, yeah. And so instead of, we'll probably replace the Twitch TV chat embed in the site with the IRC chat, just in an effort to get everyone on the same page, same channel.
Yeah.
Everything.
It's IRC Spike. It's on IRC Spike, and it's #Cloudboat Armada. If you don't know how that works,
or we post it.
Yeah, just go to the post. But
clearly, we have our act together.
If you know IRC, it's IRC chatspike, irc.chatspike.net.
All right.
So.
Is this it? Okay, wait.
So thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you.
It has been a pleasure talking games and beers with you guys. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.